Hello and welcome to Campaign Comrades, your favorite leftist gaming podcast. We got all the boys in chat today. Are you fellas ready to strap into the Animus and investigate your epigenetic memory?
Put the
skulked
spinal
around
tap in
some-
me.
I skulked around some towers at the local churches last night, looking for ne'er-do-wells to take down.
Opened up the map, did some some synchronizations.
I can now warg with random birds that fly around, that again, am genetically linked to in some weird way, undescribed way.
I have like a vision. I could see weaker minds through my phrenology synchronization in the Animus, and I could pick out inferior beings. But before we talk about this inferior movie, because we know that that's the path we're taking with this, I would like to share. I watched a good movie last night, the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I would like to say, you would think after 10 Fast and Furious movies, at least, Michelle Rodriguez would be good at acting.
Playing a different character.
Terrible.
You see, you're looking
able
at
to
this the
play a different
entirely wrong
character.
direction. She has to do no work to get roles and just does the same thing and gets a paycheck. That's the dream, baby.
Dude, she was line reading.
Imagine
through
walking
that
into
whole
any
thing.
different
Yeah,
job
I
you
don't
get and just
blame
being
her.
like, I'm gonna do exactly what I did in my last one. I don't have to do anything different.
That's what makes a true movie star, baby. They're not playing
Yeah,
characters; they're playing themselves in every single film.
Get your
Tom
bag,
Cruise.
Yeah, it's Tom
girl
Cruise,
boss, eat up
Brad
them
Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
crumbs.
Yeah, I said all the classics.
Yeah, but like
I'd say Brad Pitt is he does like his characters do differ.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. He's got
They're
like
just
I mean,
different
Most of his
maybe
characters
maybe
differ in
Snatch.
playing someone who's an actual real life person.
Maybe like Snatch, the one where he plays the Irish person.
Yeah.
What's the
No,
what's
he's a
that
gypsy.
But I know, but there's
He's-
a type of
Canceled. They're called Romani.
But like there is a
he's not
community
even
name.
Romani, he's
not even
the,
that
yeah.
anymore.
There
No,
is
what
a
is it?
Slur.
I forget
Trigger
what it's
warning.
I
Not
forget
using
what
a slur.
I forget what it's called. There's a
Well,
particular type, like what that community in Ireland is called.
Well, will you try to figure that out? I'll
Crackers.
just say that like the without spoiling anything, like Michelle Rodriguez has
Travelers, that's what they're called. The Travelers.
hilarious. That is as simple as that. Like the part that she plays in the story is like pretty important in the end, and like you could kind of see like what's going on, and then like that they're building up to her being this important character.
She's the child's real mom, like in all the ways that counts.
He is Piccolo to the
and
Gohan.
And just like, dude, her acting compared to everyone else, not that it's like superior, the best acting in the world. It was mid and better, but it made for a decent like chemistry and stuff. And she's just phoning it in, like reading her lines worse than Letty. And I just had to call her out on that. Get your bag, but at least give me something entertaining.
You want to know something, Mike? She
What?
might be even worse in Fast X, which I have
I'm
seen
sure.
and was horrendous.
Horrible
Terrible.
movie.
I was
We shouldn't
also
talk
thinking.
No,
We shouldn't
we should
talk
never
about that
talk about it.
horrible movie.
Oh my god. Oh
No,
my
never.
God, no.
But the one other thing I was thinking about the whole time was like, if Gina Carano didn't go down her like little rabbit hole, she could have been in this movie too. Her little right wing, turf arc.
She's got a bright future ahead of her at Ben
Daily Wire.
Shabilo's network.
Yeah.
The Daily Wire
Making
movie wing.
Jesus movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Jonathan Isaac just dropped the Unite Us basketball shoes through the Daily Wire.
Wow.
No, Prager you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
The
Go on.
documentary he's filming
Yeah.
is through Daily Wire. I got them too confused.
But speaking of movies with with actors phoning it in.
boy.
Our
Or
topic
Michael
for today,
Fassbender.
our topic for today is obviously the Assassin's Creed movie from, was it 2016? Is that when it came
You know how
out?
typically I throw
2016,
a little snippet of the music for the movie or the game
What are you
into
gonna
the
do?
intro?
What are you gonna do for this
Nope,
one?
nothing.
No.
I might play sad fiddles.
Yeah, dude.
Like the Mr.
Michael-
Krabs little
But
tiny fiddle.
I gotta start it off with the cast in this
It's
movie
wild.
is fucking stacked.
I
Absolutely
didn't even
stacked.
realize.
With
Yeah,
like
they paid a lot of
Academy
money for
Award
those people.
winners and like
a lot of money
real,
into this movie.
yeah, really like some really big names.
This
Obviously,
was at like the meteoric rise of Michael Fassbender too. He
right.
was
This was just
at
this was just after like the X-Men reboots and
Days of
Yeah.
Future Past, where
and
he was
12 Years a Slave was like a big
Yeah.
reason why he got cast in this, because it was something to do with who was involved in developing those films. I don't know if it was the same. I doubt it's the same director. But so obviously we got Fassbender in the dual main roles of
The
Callum Lynch and his ancestor. Okay, we're not gonna.
It was just Cal
names
Kestis
don't
to
mean
me.
anything in this movie.
Yeah, they really don't. Then we got Marion Cotillard as the Animus operator lady.
She is. I will never see her in a film and not expect her to be evil. Like
Did not
when
expect her
she
to have an immediate heel turn.
yeah
Matt
when
was saying
she
that the whole time.
when
like,
when she's a
literally-
baby face, I'm going to be shocked. They are going to floor me when she one
had
day
like
is
I
a
feel
good
like
character.
she's had a couple.
It doesn't
she's had
matter.
a couple roles,
Yeah.
but yeah, it doesn't matter. Jeremy
All I can
Irons
see
is her papa.
Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so
And she has like she has like the evil Soviet honeypot vibes from like the
Even though she's
90s to
French,
me.
even though
Even though
she's
she's French. Yeah, no, like I just
Well, I
she's
mean-
French, but
Same thing.
he probably puts in the best performance out of the lot, I'd say.
I mean, I think she's
For
a good
sure.
actress.
Yeah. Jeremy Irons phoning it in,
Yeah.
very, very minimal emoting going on. Just
Hey
cashing
man,
that
that was
paycheck.
also when Jeremy Irons was wasn't he also Alfred? Batman vs Superman.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
yes. Jeremy
Another
Irons,
role where he just
known for
He doesn't say no.
known for playing. You say that he's really known for is playing Alfred the Butler.
I'm just saying, like
I
this is
have-
that time period where both of those released, and he was just like shoehorned into these
Raking it in.
roles.
Then we got Brendan Gleeson is Fassbender's father.
Yeah, and he had the he made the most out of this. He had like 5 lines maybe and just collected a paycheck.
Yep. And then
And I
Michael K.
think-
Williams also.
yeah, I was gonna say,
a
yeah,
surprise
exactly.
as
Michael
well.
K. Williams.
Yeah,
Like, absolutely
the,
stacked.
the French lady that I can't remember her name.
Marion Cotillard.
Exactly. She's the only one that isn't like a super well-known name there.
To you
The-
maybe.
Yeah, but like
she's a
I'm
well-known.
a stupid
she
person.
was and is a well-known actress even at that point. Yeah. Very
I think
successful.
she's out of all of them the least well-known.
Incorrect.
He's also a Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I would disagree.
mainstay. Christopher Nolan loves to drop her into movies.
Incorrect.
Fair.
She's definitely bigger than Michael K. Williams and like
Yeah,
Brendan
but he had a
Gleeson, at
minor
least
role.
nowadays.
My point was that she
You see,
was,
Mike's
like,
proving he hates women.
had to try.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, of course. I'm a misogynist.
Canceled.
Yeah, stacked cast.
Yeah.
I can't believe they got
Stacked
them all to do
cast.
this.
Do you think? Real talk. So you know how there's discussion around like, oh, we're gonna have AI writing stuff. Do you think they had like shitty like Cortana writing this back then? Or, like Cortana, write me an Assassin's Creed movie script.
It was Chat GPT 1.
No, like it's not even a real AI. I'm thinking it's just like a
Did
virtual
Did
assistant.
you guys see that they're speaking of Cortana in AI? You see that they're sunsetting.
Removing Cortana.
They're sunsetting Cortana at
Nice.
at Microsoft.
Thank
Hilarious.
the Lord.
I did not know that.
Get it the fuck
I mean,
outta
every
here.
time I set up a new Windows computer, I just disable Cortana immediately.
Same. It's stupid.
It's like my Google Assistant's already listening to me. I don't need Cortana listening to me as well.
Yeah, Marion Cotillard was nominated for Best Actress back in 2008. and again in 2015. She won at one point. She may have even won the 2008.
What was she nominated for in 08?
A French movie.
Deep dive.
I still stand.
La Vie en Rose.
I still stand by my statement, and especially in the fact that she is a woman and she has to just naturally work harder, that she put in the best performance.
Oh, that's what I was
there.
saying. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like
absolutely
she
put in
had
the
like
most work.
I mean, if you want to go down that
had to
rabbit
do
hole,
that.
I've worked with a female engineer who's stated in the past that like she was never allowed to have like a slip up or like an off day, whereas like male engineers were allowed to like 4 out of 5 days a week. Like, oh, oopsie.
They would have docked her pay if it did poorly, but Jeremy Irons is getting his bag no matter what.
He's got that contract on lock.
We're gonna end violence.
So before we get into the plot, I want to just there's a few little interesting points about its production. This was originally going to be financed and distributed by, I don't know about finance actually, because that I think became one of the main sticking points. That it was originally going to be distributed by Sony, but then those talks fell through, leading to an eventual deal being struck with Fox Studios and its New Regency outfit to finance and distribute the film. And I wanted to highlight this because it shows the evilness, but also the savvy of Ubisoft in this sense that like they went with this route, so they were able to hand off the majority of the financial burden and risk to another company, as they were,
and remain some of the creative retain some of the creative control.
Well, especially because
they were salty after the Prince of Persia flop previous, which is like kind of like one of their real first.
Stay tuned.
Entries.
That might show up at some point.
We're doing lots of Ubisoft.
Hey man, they've done a lot of movie adaptations.
That Ubisoft logo, when I was watching it and it popped up, and it just immediately made my tummy hurt a little.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So they pushed the financial burden onto someone else, but if there was success, Ubisoft would be the first one you'd think of. You wouldn't think of Fox Studios if the Assassin's Creed movie did well. You'd think of Ubisoft. It's the perfect double-edged blade. They studied it well.
But it was not a success. They were smart. They were smart to offload that burden, because it made $240 million for an estimated loss of 75 to 100 million.
Oh my god.
They
set up sequels.
They did. Like they started.
I'm serially addicted to movies setting up sequels that don't come.
They had like pre-production started on at least one. Before
it was going to be the Assassin's Creed multiverse.
Yeah, before the movie even came out. Before
I was waiting for them to skip the CG arm and wire work for the Animus and just attach Michael Fassbender to a real fucking mechanical arm.
Yes.
And then have him turned into putty when it malfunctions.
But what's wild to me is that they didn't actually cancel these after the initial poor reception, of the film. They kept going in production. It took the purchase of Fox from Disney in 2019 to actually cancel.
Oh my god!
These were able to continue going, behind the scenes, languishing in production hell.
So is there
there's a semi-cut of Assassin's Creed 2 out there somewhere?
Probably. There's a treatment,
maybe even
floating around.
Yeah. Wow.
Most likely.
I mean, what you need to do is you need to get fans together to demand we get the Assassin's Creed 2 director cut, just like they did for Zack Snyder's Snyder cut.
That's like you're doing a bit, but like you're kind of like right about this, because like when you look at this film, this was an editing hack job, basically. Well, I would like maybe defend the editors and like that they're doing everything that they can to kind of Frankenstein this shit together. But like, as we'll get to, this story revolves around two plots, as almost all Assassin's Creed games
inside
do, right?
There are two wolves.
Yeah, there are, there's the present day story,
An
and
assassino.
and the memories, the actual assassin. But both of these plot lines, both these stories, absolutely impossible to follow.
It was asking so much of the viewer. You had to be like highly intelligent to like just piece
You had
together.
to be a Rick and Morty fan. You had to have a high IQ.
I wouldn't say that. It was mainly like you have to have played these games to have any idea.
You have to
keep
also
track
be
of what's
distinctly
going
paying
on.
attention. I think I said while we were watching, this is the type of movie
You
that
missed,
if you get
missed one of the memories. You missed one of the memories, so it's like, what the fuck happened? But you'd be forgiven in thinking that, but that's not actually the case. Like there are so many wide gaps, even if you're paying attention throughout the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
like where they go from one memory to the next. There's so much that was obviously left on the cutting room floor.
Yes,
that it's just like, did I miss something here? How did we shift from them
Why are
escaping
we
to them
here
being
now?
captured again?
yeah.
And there's just so much going on. It's the worst one is
You see, what they were
memory
doing-
story. That one lacks any cohesion whatsoever. I was reading a summary and we'll use that to kind of like go through the thing, but they're like giving names to all the characters in the past, and it's like, where the fuck did you get these names? These characters were never once given any shred of identity. The only one we know of is Aguilar,
the prince, in the prince,
yeah, the Prince of Granada.
Dude,
that's it. And the Sultan.
They
may even only refer to him as the Sultan.
Yes.
I don't even think they give him his name.
The one they use all these terms and we don't know what any of them mean. Like they're like the regression, he's aligning, he's rising moon. Like I don't even know what the fuck this shit is. It's so fucking ridiculous.
Again, the program is run by women, so they're doing astrology. So tracks.
And then
tracks.
The
Mercury was in retrograde.
Yeah, towards the end, he goes from like Spain to just being on a boat somewhere. Like I don't even know where that shit happens.
He's still in Spain.
Okay.
It's Christopher Columbus. It's
okay.
It's before Christopher Columbus sets out to genocide a native population.
He gets the apple.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chris's, I would just like to say that if they had an Assassin's Creed 2, I know Chris Pratt would have been the main character.
It would depend on when it was being produced. Like he's a little bit on the decline now. It's mainly
2021 now. It would be Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, he's on
fair.
He's on
fair.
the rise. Yeah,
we've gone from Christopher's.
You're gonna get your twink assassin
right.
next. You're gonna get
Tom Holland. Yeah.
All right, so should we try to break down this plot and
yes,
see how this goes?
Yes. They made some choices too here.
So the movie starts with it's like a flashback, or does it starts with him on death row, right? About him being it
starts with the assassinos and shows the guy. It shows Aguilar joining and getting his finger cut off.
Right.
He's on death row.
So it's it's going back and forth there, and so it's like he's on death row, but then it's having the flashbacks to when his papa killed his mama, which we'll get more insight into that later on in the story.
And I like that Ben pointed out this was the era, or it might have been Matt, the era when they were not using Dom Hall Gleason as Brendan Gleeson's, but younger flashbacks.
What I just discovered, they used a different Gleason brother. They used
amazing.
Oh my god, amazing.
Amazing.
Awesome. Brian Gleason is the young guy. Okay. There's something at this point that really annoyed me.
They love doing that. That must be part of
his contract. Yeah, his contracts are just like, you must use my progeny.
Let's use one of my sons.
It must always have a flashback so that you could use one of my sons. He's just getting the bag for the whole family.
He's smart. I'm not the only one providing.
A true patriarch.
Yeah, damn. Genius.
But I really don't understand why they give up the ghost immediately in that the Templars are the people in control of the Animus. Like in the first game, you don't really know that until the end. Like that is like kind of
like
one of the big
Abstergo,
reveals.
yeah, Abstergo
Yeah.
is like held as this singular entity, and it's not revealed until later that like it's just a front for the
Yes, and I
Templars.
hate that they give it up immediately. It takes away any other like all of that tension is just immediately gone. Like
Because again, audiences are fucking dumb babies. They
Yeah.
need to know what sides are, who they need to have the clear cut sides
Guy
of good guys
versus
versus bad guy.
Well, and,
Yeah.
and they used it for they used it to like show I'm trying to think of the character's name, the fucking main character in present day.
Cal.
His like Cal Kestis's allegiances, whether he's gonna fall to the dark side and the Sith or the light and the assassins, like whether he's gonna give up where the apple is. So, I think that they do it for that reason to try to like build that character, not effectively.
I think you're giving them way
obviously.
too much credit, and that they had a chimpanzee slam a typewriter until it resembled semi-English.
So did you guys get this bit from the plot that like he was on death row for felony murder or capital murder or something?
Said he killed a pimp.
Where did you hear that? I didn't hear that. I completely missed that.
There's literally one exchange between him and Marion Cotillard, and he's like, "I killed a pimp," and there's no other elaboration. I was just like, "What?"
Right,
I assumed that
Kill the pimp doesn't elaborate further.
Just doing racism, just doing hate crimes. Just killed a black guy. It's like
I assumed
he's doing a Mark Wahlberg in the 80s.
I just assumed they pegged him for killing his mom, even though he was like 5.
Yeah, no, but like I totally missed that bit. But he's like, so it's going on. He's being executed, but you see, Marion Cotillard is in the audience, so things are not going to go this way. It's like, oh, movie over. Nope, he is being.
Would have been great right there if instead of Assassin's Creed and Animus bullshit, we just got Inception 2 right there.
He's fake executed and wakes up in Abstergo. The Templar front.
My read of this is he actually is dying, and it's all just
It's the DMT release. It's the DMT release.
This movie is just the DMT hitting as he dies, and that's why there's so many strange logical leaps. It's all kind of a dream.
You think it's
Some
playing
could
out
say this was a
exactly
Zelda
as the
game
movie?
because of all the timey-wimey bullshit.
So that they drop it, almost immediately. She's like, I'm a scientist. This is my life's work.
I'm a phrenologist.
We're plumbing the depths of epigenetic memory in order to eliminate free will and humans' capacity for violence.
No, they're gonna cure violence. They've found I wrote down this line because I thought it was so ridiculous. Where I have it. You are the living proof of the link between heredity and crime. Literally tying crime to DNA. My jaw hit the ground when she said that shit. I was like, that is wild. Oh my God.
And they're holding up a picture of a skull.
Yeah.
Imagine
this is the missing link.
Imagine going to walk into a store and you have to hit a finger prick at the door. If your DNA criminal, they don't let you in.
Oh no. No, stop.
Brandon was trying to do that with COVID. They were trying to take my freedom at the door, making me wear a mask and such.
I mean, Gattaca more or less also covers that, but
asking me HIPAA questions.
The thing is, the writers of this movie chose to add the phrenology storyline. It's not really part of the game.
Yes, the connection to crime, right? But like the whole concept of Assassin's Creed does kind of move into that territory, right? That like you are your capacity for these skills is tied to your genetic history, your ability to enter the memory of your ancestors, that whole concept of like the skill bleed, whatever they call it.
So according to this game / movie, I would, if someone were to put a cobbler's bench in front of me and flip over an old timey leather shoe with a sole, I would just immediately be able to bind them.
Yeah, no,
Great-grandfather was-
masonry,
it's genetic
if you put
determinism is what is
if you
what
put
the
masonry in front of me or some hair clippers, I'll build you a fucking stone wall and cut the meanest fade you've ever seen. I'll give you the best Edgar the planet has ever come across.
but no, that so it's really not that far of a leap when you it just but it
I
makes
guess
you
that's fair. I
it makes
guess
you
that's
think
fair.
it makes you think more a little bit more deeply about what the fuck is going on in those French brains.
Yeah, I
you
guess you're right.
I can't wait to see
Who
their
designed
French
this?
Polynesian Assassin's Creed.
Oh no.
Definitely going to be good.
The Nazi occupation did a lot to their psyche.
The Vichy regime must be held accountable. So she talks to him about the animus and the assassins and the search for the apple of Eden, some bit of ancient tech that holds the genetic code to humanity's will, and
It's the MacGuffin.
yeah, it's I mean, it's again, that's straight from the games.
It is. It is.
Well, so he is their primary target because his ancestor Aguilar, the last person ever confirmed to be in possession of the apple, so that they need to plug him in to the machine to learn where it is, where it went, what he did with it.
So my question now that I've discovered that it was a pimp that he killed, and it was a more recent thing, because I honestly no bit assumed that he was in jail for killing his mother. It's because he killed that pimp that they got his access to his DNA, it seems, and then were able to bring him in the animus. So
yeah, that is what they say.
But for killing that pimp, he would have, they would have never found the apple. He would have just been,
they also had his
around.
father, and his father's, half of his DNA.
Well, but what they determined, it's his mother. Yeah, they did.
They had his father.
Brendan Gleeson is his dad.
I forgot.
It was a whole thing.
But it's his mother who was
it's
his mother who was the descendant of Aguilar, as well as
Yes.
where he comes from. So hence,
But I'm just saying that they had his
why-
father, so they had half of his
spoiler that we learn later on is that she had the father kill her rather than be taken by the Templars and put into the animus. So she's doing it to protect the location of the apple.
If she was really trying to protect the apple, she would have also had him kill the son. Just saying.
For real.
And the
No, I
movie
think
right
he
there.
says that I think
He was supposed to. He said
he couldn't.
he said I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weak.
He says I
Yeah,
should
he was
have.
supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they strap
We'll
him. They strap him into the machine for the first time.
Okay. And here is the first choice that I really don't understand. And it's, why did they decide to make the animus this 3D this arm thing? You lay down. Am I completely misremembering? You lay down in a bed in the game.
It's a
right?
tanning bed. It's like a tanning bed.
So
Literally is. Even in the
I'm
new
telling you
games.
right now, why they did that was because they were planning out cool double shots where they could have him doing something in the past and then show him in.
It's supposed to.
Why? Because it's so
supposed
dumb.
It's supposed to make that whole idea of the bleeding effect more believable. It's like,
and
he's
you're picking up
physically
other
doing the
people.
skills and learning all these things.
Well, and I think it also
guess.
is to show the viewer that the Abstergo people are viewing what's going on in the past as well.
It's
Which
turning
I
into a
don't-
hologram.
Yeah, which I don't think was
so strange. I hate all of those shots. They look stupid. It's a bad
because that's
choice.
not something
No,
in the
but
game.
that's exactly
You
what they were
always-
thinking, was that's going to be a cool shot and we can show it
Yeah,
this way.
I think you're right, Matt. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, that's a cool idea. Let's do it, and it just did not come together.
Did not.
'Cause
come
in the-
together.
It needed to be a real mechanical arm. I'm telling you. You put a couple dummies in there first to get out the bugs of the code, so it never actually slams you into the ground or
and by
twists you and
dummies,
then
you mean
tosses.
PA interns.
Hey, I mean, do they want the experience or not?
Yeah.
So it's like, as I'm reading the synopsis of, again, it's of the scenes in the past that are the most egregious in this manner. They're like
cut.
This thing is just adding so many details that were not present in the game. Like the biggest one being the names of like say like the
Imagine needing the
Grandmaster
Spark Notes
Templar
while watching a movie.
It's absurd. So it's like, yeah, the son of the Sultan has been captured by the Templars, and Fassbender's ancestor and his partner are, they're rescuing the kid. And then, but that's like the cut is like so jarring of like, yeah, they like rescue the kid but then get captured again or something. It's where and how it happens is very jarring and does not kind of make sense.
And like, again, another thing that I don't like about this writing is there's literally no assassinations in this goddamn movie. Like there's no actual like you have to assassinate anyone. It's just saving this child for the apple. Like
they do a couple drop down
yeah, they do some but like there's no actual like we need to assassinate someone.
It's not an actual
which is the whole game.
I wish they assassinated the Roman bishop with the anti-Semitic nose.
No, he's that they're doing anti-Roman shit. He's got the Roman nose. I already said it.
It was too big.
The prosthetic for the nose was very silly.
Yeah.
It was goblin territory.
So I the one bit of credit I'll give is that in the like the memory sequences when it's not doing the flashes between him in the Animus fighting the holograms, some of the best pieces, right? Like the action set pieces are pretty good and pretty well directed, visually impressive. Like this the carriage chase sequence is pretty good, pretty cool. And then like the next one that you eventually get to, like the escape sequence when they're going to be executed, has some of the better. And it's like I was thinking about our critiques of the Uncharted film, and it's because they have these similar mechanics in the sense of like the parkour, the climbing, all that kind of element, where the Uncharted movie failed to capture that and adapt that. They did a good job of moving through and showing the kinetic action of Assassin's Creed. They do it's Leo pointing at the screen. She even says the thing, the leap of faith.
I know. I wanted to call that out. She literally goes, "Leap of faith," just like, oh my god.
But they do lots of cool climbing, and so he in like one of his next ventures into it, he tries to do the leap of faith because the ancestor does it, but he desyncs. It's too scary. It's too scary for him, so he desyncs and like has a fucking seizure.
So I agree that I did like most of the action sequences. I did think those were, at least the one when they don't show the dual fucking what's happening in the Animus thing. That's stupid. That shit sucked. But like the actual true flashback action sequences were good. I didn't love the parkour running stuff. I actually kind of thought that was lame compared to what you do in the game, but that's whatever.
So you didn't have the grapple hook.
Yeah,
you don't get that
have a grapple hook, right?
You don't get a grapple hook. The closest you get is in the like the third game with Ezio when he's in Constantinople. He gets like the zip line hook thing. That's like the closest he gets to it. But yeah, so like he meets back in present day, he meets the other prisoners who are also, descendants of other assassins who obviously have no more useful information for them. So they're just keeping them prisoner.
Just killed them? Why didn't the Templar just kill them? This was a severe miscalculation on their part.
A security blunder. No, they basically said, we've got no more use for you. We've determined that you don't know where the apple is. So because
half of them are
as your own assassins. Yeah, but then you tap them into the fucking Animus again, and you get them going. You get them into super assassin mode, and then
like
you
Michael K. Williams one like even asked, was like, "Am I going back into the Animus soon?" She's like, "Nope, we've got what we wanted from you. Take these pills and go sit down."
Yeah, they've got them all on lithium.
Take the equal. It's the equal.
Yeah.
Equilibrium pill.
The emotion killing pills. Yeah.
Yeah.
AKA
The
lithium.
SSRI.
Yeah.
No, that they definitely fucked up by not just turning them into meat patties to be served in the cafeteria.
Yeah. I was like, these Templars would not keep these guys alive. Let's be.
It also
Hubris
seems
ended
like
up
they
being their
didn't
downfall.
have they didn't have like good intel or like uh of who had it, that they were going through so many assassins. Like, because the Michael K. Williams assassin guy was like, it's not like they were all from the Assassin Guild in Constantinople or something like that, or like in Rome. They were all over the world, and from all different eras. So they were just fucking like throwing darts at the wall trying to hit something, it seems, until they've like finally found it. Like they didn't have a good lead before just throwing people into the fucking mechanical arm.
Into the brain melt machine.
Yeah, the CTE machine.
Yeah.
Just
Hey
concussion
man, we
after
call
concussion.
that the NFL.
Yeah.
And it produces billions of dollars.
So Cal is starting to, experience the bleed effect, both in terms of he's like learning skills, like he gets like when they try to put him back in the Animus, he does like, Matrix fighting
Yeah.
to
Neo's fighting Morpheus, guys.
yeah, to beat a bunch of the guards, but they ended up, overpowering him and strapping him back in, and he's going crazy. He's going cuckoo banana pants. Because he's like starting seeing hallucinations of his past ancestors, including his mother and
Mama.
as well as Aguilar. He eventually, after a shitty session, Marion Cotillard's character is, trying to, work with him to get his confidence, tells him that, his father is at the facility, and they give him the hidden blade that the father used to kill the mother, and it's basically just like, yeah, here, go kill your dad.
That'll make you feel better.
Yeah, get some closure. Remember how evil the assassins are. But through that is when he learns basically that that his mother chose death rather than be imprisoned like they are. So it doesn't quite go the way she's planning. However, I mean, for a time he does buy in. He's like, you know what, fuck the assassins. I'm gonna find the apple. Fuck them. Like, they killed my mama. He does buy in, but it's like it's very shaky.
Fucking hate my dad.
Yeah, so the other prisoners, start to see like basically, oh, he's gonna betray us, he's gonna betray the creed, so let's kill him. They try to shiv him in the showers type of thing. and
then you find out that he's a super assassin, better than their regular assassin asses.
he's only been doing he's an assassin Mary Sue. He's only been doing it for a couple days. He's got more skills than them. So he vows to destroy these assassins by finding the apple. We get some bits. We've kind of skipped over what role Jeremy Irons has been playing. Like he's just kind of observing in the background. Basically telling the daughter not to get too attached. Like we have these expectations that the Templar overlords, are demanding of us.
The elders.
The elders, yeah.
He's just the money guy.
Which leads to a funny.
He's middle management.
A funny,
no, he's the Jeffrey Epstein.
Really on the nose bit where like the elder says to him, is like, we don't need the apple anymore. We've already won. People no longer care about their civil liberties. They're content to follow.
I did like that bit. I did think that one bit was kind of cool. It was a good line.
So Cal re-enters the Animus of his own free will, which lets him get a deeper sink, and he actually does the real leap of faith and breaks the Animus arm because he's too powerful. In the mission, they are basically, it's what I think it's one of the final real bits of that plot line where they had failed up until this point. The Templars still had the Sultan's son, and they're like doing the exchange between the sun and the apple, and so they drop down, kill a bunch of the Templars, but the basically Aguilar, the ancestors' love interest, Maria, love interest and partner, she gets taken in again, chooses death rather than betray the creed, and which with nothing left to lose, the ancestor Aguilar kills the boss, who is like the main Templar's enforcer, kills the boss, but then somehow but still hesitates and lets the Grand Master Templar, the Roman priest guy, escape, which leads to another chase sequence where he then does the full leap of faith to escape.
That passes the apple on to a genocider.
The final bit is like, where does the apple go? And it's he's on a boat in the harbor in Spain, and he's giving it to Christopher Columbus to take it with him to his grave. So the Templars get access to whatever cathedral Christopher Columbus is buried at, and they're able to exhume the apple from his grave and going on a victory tour. But it's after this final bit.
Imagine if the entire end of the movie was just they open up Christopher Columbus's tomb and it's just not there because he lost it.
They
dial on the phone and they call up, and all you hear is Nathan Drake on the end of the line to search for a lost treasure. High-end, baby.
Oh god.
But so it's like
the Ubisoft multiverse.
He was like going, he's like at this point still like, I'm gonna be betraying the creed, like a fuck them kids type of thing. The rest of the prisoners are they mount it's not really an escape attempt. They're like, we're gonna
murk you all,
these guys, but it's like their intent is to go and kill Cal. It's like to make sure that he is not able to follow through with it. But they emerge in the Animus chamber just as he's like seeing the projections of all his ancestors. And I thought I recognized this, but it was one of the characters that I was not as familiar with because it was the game that I bounced off of, the French one that was so bad that almost killed the franchise. And in a way did for me. It was the one that I stopped playing and never played another one since. That so apparently they have a bit like that. He's related to that guy too, the French one, because it's like his mother Aguilar, and then the French guy who's like, you don't really see his face, but he's got like the blue hood.
What we find out here is he's basically Sly Cooper, and he's got a devious line of ancestry who have been famous throughout history.
But so the mother leads him through. He commits to the creed. He says the words, and just the three.
That's probably another finger point moment, I'm assuming, for
the three remaining assassins who don't all fucking die as they purge the facility, and as father and daughter escape with the apple. The rest of the prisoners and all the guards are dead except for Cal, and I guess at that point it's just two other assassins, and they get there's three at that point because they're about to kill him, but he says the creed, and they do the nod with each other. They break into Jeremy Irons history, all his historical object collection, all his ancient weapons. They gear up, and for the final showdown against the last of the guards, and one of the remaining assassins dies, and the other three, including Fassbender, escape and go after the apple once more.
Was it the girl that died?
No, it was one of the guys. It was the guy who was not Michael K. Williams.
Yeah.
I just love couple things about this portion of the movie. One being that somehow these old ass weapons are still viable. That's awesome and very funny to me. The other being that the code is, I don't think you said it, but the line is, nothing is true, everything is permitted.
Yeah, that's the
work in
classic.
darkness to preserve the light. And it's just like, that's some good cop language right there. And that's really what this movie's
NYPD
about.
says that every day before they go on shit.
Both
They have like
groups
the
are
little
bad.
assassins
They
logo.
do that as they're preying on the Punisher logo.
Like a football team, they have to slap
Yes.
the Punisher logo on the door on the way out.
So as these remaining few assassins, they infiltrate the Templar party, the big moment, and he runs into Marion Cotilliard's character, who's like, she's this last bit with her kind of baffled me, because it's like she's like, oh, I'm disillusioned. I'm gonna let you pass and go kill my father.
I thought we were ending violence, not free will.
But then
even though free will was the key to violence.
Yeah, but then once he kills her father, she's like, it's my fault and I vow revenge.
Like immediately is like, fuck that.
It's very weird.
It was weird
to have those two flops back and forth. It was very weird. But this movie ends with them on a rooftop. He's
super
got the
anticlimactic, to be honest,
in his pocket. Yeah, because true to the game, the first game as well. Like the quote unquote climax is in present day, and it fucking sucks.
Yeah,
playing as Desmond sucked. Was not good. There is no real action set piece or real boss fight or anything like that. So, right. Yeah, so that is the plot or plots of Assassin's Creed, the movie.
I really did find that double flip flop baffling. It happens in like 45 seconds of screen time. It was really weird.
It almost felt like two different scenes filmed for two different endings that got like mistakenly stitched together.
Yeah. Very strange.
It felt like in a video game when you're given like two moral choices and you make two completely opposite ones on during the same mission. You're like, oh yeah, let's like save the kittens. And then at the very end, you're like, let's murder all of the puppies though.
I was like, what did she expect him to do? Like, what?
It's like, isn't it clear that your dad is fucking evil?
Yeah.
He was misunderstood. You don't understand. He was my father.
My papa.
Even though he wanted to end humanity's free will and
make them all sheeple.
Because I don't quite remember all the details of because it cuts out and fades, so you only hear it in the background. But like the speech he gives, like the victory speech he gives, is particularly dystopian. But it's like is full mask off. It's like, yeah, it's like it's time for world domination.
I'd like to see an edit where someone changes every time he says free will with Jews.
Oh god.
Because I saw someone did that with I think it was like a Matt Walsh tweet where they changed trans to Jews.
Oh yeah, I like.
Hey, that guy is a self-proclaimed theocratic fascist, so not far off.
There was one other bit in that last scene that also made that double flip-flop very funny, which is like right before she sees Fassbender's character and initially decides to like let him go. She has regret as she literally says, now I am become death, destroyer of worlds.
That was such a corny. That was such a corny ass.
It was a 6-year ahead of time teaser for Oppenheimer
for Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer.
Which I'm sure she's in. I'm sure she's in that movie.
No, she might.
I'm sure if you check that cast list, she
honestly might be.
She is Oppenheimer herself.
No, that's Cillian Murphy.
No, she's not in it.
Unfortunate. Christopher Nolan loves her.
Yeah, he does.
Maybe he finally realized that every time he casts her as the heel turn bad guy, it loses its punch.
We already know.
I mean, almost every fucking actor in Hollywood is in that movie, so kind of surprised that she's not.
I can't wait for Barbie to make more money on opening weekend than Oppenheimer.
For sure.
Tom
No.
Cruise is gonna do something heinous to get both of those movies off.
Yeah, say no. We don't pit them against each other. Both can and will succeed if we try hard enough.
Absolutely.
Double feature at the drive-in.
I'm hoping.
I mean, like triple feature. Tom wants to Mission Impossible to come out that weekend too.
Oh, damn. I did hear that.
Either way.
That's pretty nuts.
He's apparently been going to the other studios and trying to get them to change their dates for Barbie and Oppenheimer so that he can have the weekend alone.
People said that movie made them, they were enlightened after seeing it. They were standing ovations for 5 minutes. So it must be something special.
Can't wait.
Well, this movie sure was something special.
I was hooting and hollering at the end. I was standing up. I was stopping my leg. I was cranking the imaginary crank handle on the air horn that my head turned into like I was a cartoon.
In reality, Matt fell asleep through portions of it. Slipped into
you weren't on beforehand. I rewatched this movie earlier in the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Matt
that's kind of fucked up.
That's what I said. He's
some like
punishing. He's
yeah.
punishing himself.
Yeah, you're doing some Da Vinci Code flogging, like a good Catholic zealot.
I finished this morning, and
you couldn't even watch it.
That's why you were up at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
EST.
Yeah. No, I could not get through. I watched an hour of it. I was like, this is good. This is enough. I can finish the other hour before the episode. And I'm glad I did. This is not good.
Final thoughts before we give our ratings, both as a film and adaptation.
We never mentioned the sepia filter that's on.
Oh yeah. It was
it's a Western.
Well, yeah, Spain and Mexico are the same.
And like as we talked about, it was Spain under the Moorish rule, and every film that goes into the Middle East has to have has to have that
exactly.
that filter over it. So it's like, yeah, this is Europe, but if it was the Middle East.
It made for such a clash in the modern era scenes that were like such a gray tone and like whites and stuff with the sepia over
the sterile clinic colors
just
from Abstergo. Yeah,
it's not an appealing to the eye movie by any means.
No,
you know how when people exaggerate,
washed out, desaturated, or very bland. Yeah.
You know how when people exaggerate and they say 10 out of 10 cured my cancer, I love everything about this.
Mm.
This is a 1 out of 10 gave all of my pets cancer and totaled my car.
I this is not a good movie by any means, but it's just more disappointing that like there was a casted Assassin's Creed movie that had Jeremy Irons, Michael Fassbender, Marion Cotillard, Gleason, Michael K. Williams. Like that is ridiculous. This movie could have been really good, but the writing and the ideas and the presentation are all so bad that it's just like hopeless. It
was written by 3 beluga whales kicking letter balls into a slot machine.
I wonder if it would be better if Sony had creative control instead of Ubisoft retaining.
That's a questionable decision because sometimes Sony makes questionable movie choices like Morbius.
Yeah. Sony is like, more,
not saying
like
it would be great.
They're experienced movie makers, obviously, but like, no, they're not immune to some stinkers.
No, I just hate the French.
Definitely a
I mean, the French
francophobe
would have still
here.
been involved. Ubisoft would have been involved at all points, no matter who was the actual production.
Aren't escaping that. Yeah, we're not escaping that.
Unless you're insinuating that Fox Productions are French, and then that's a whole new rap.
All right, so joke ratings aside, what are our actual ratings? And we'll go around the horn first off with just as a film.
Easy. 4.5.
Yeah,
I forgot to hold up my calculator.
This movie was awful.
It is not good.
You were more generous than I was gonna give. My rating was a 4.
Yeah, I'm a 4.5.
I add 0.5 because the cast was decent.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4.5 as well.
Yeah,
I was thinking
bumped it to
around a
0.5.
5. I was thinking maybe it would have been a 5, but
it's not bad enough to drop below the 4 threshold for me. Like there are much worse depths we can go. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is still out there, friends.
Oh my god! Oh, that movie is painful.
Ugh,
I watched that one for our Lost episode on Mortal Kombat. I watched all the original Mortal Kombat movies. The first original Mortal Kombat movie, quite good, entertaining.
Yes, I mean, one of the writers was also a writer for Exodus, Gods and Kings. So like,
oh man,
I forgot about that. What a memory hold movie.
That is a worse movie. That is a worse movie.
That's Christian Bale, isn't it? Isn't Christian Bale
Moses?
And the guy from
Joel Edgerton.
Oh, he's the Pharaoh. That's right.
Oh, I was mixing up. What's the one with
and Ben Kingsley?
What's the movie? It came out around the same time.
With Nicholas. With the Kingslayer,
Game of Thrones. Yeah. It was like Egypt.
Gods of Egypt.
Yeah, Gods of Egypt.
That was also really
one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah,
cinematic masterpiece.
Watch that on like FX several times. Like
that is half of the movie.
Half of it.
My favorite part about that movie is their entire Egyptian pantheon of gods are white people.
Yeah. No, like you got Chadwick Boseman is
oh yes, you're right.
But
he is in there.
That's it. And he gets his brain.
Exodus. They're all white. They're all white people playing the pharaohs.
So that gives us an average of 4.375. So 4.
feels right.
4.4 is our.
You failed. You must restart the semester.
All right, as an adaptation, I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna be bold and say, in terms of what it adapts from Assassin's Creed, is not bad. I would say it's a solid 6.5.
I was gonna give it a.
I'm gonna have to. It's still just too bad. I'm gonna have to give it a flat 6.
I'm giving it a 5.5. There are some things that they incorporate that they did well. Other things, like the animus in particular and the phrenology aspects that they tried to include, not it.
This ain't it, Chief.
I was right around the same area from my perspective too. I'm going with I'm just gonna give the flat 6 as well. It's got enough, they got the hidden blades, they cut off a finger, they show that the finger sacrifice. Like there's enough here that it's above that mid 50, but it's not much more.
You see, this is where I'm really torn, because I have 2 wolves inside me right now. And one of them wants to give this a 10 out of 10 adaptation because I think Assassin's Creed is dog shit doo-doo.
Hot dog water.
Yeah, but I think it's better than this. I do think the game is still better than this.
The original games were good. Through the end of the Ezio saga are good.
Yes.
I will say through Assassin's Creed 4, skipping Assassin's Creed 3, which was extremely mid. They're all very good.
Is that the revolutionary one? Okay.
One through all of the Ezio bits and Black Flag are all very entertaining.
No, I'm gonna fall in line into
loved Black Flag.
I think I'm gonna give it a 6. as a non-player, I've only played one Assassin's Creed game, and it was the handheld PS Vita Liberation one from New Orleans.
So American of you.
Yeah, Nolans. Beignet. There we go. I said it. It's one of those things like there were just enough moments that I could point and be like, I know what they're referencing there. Or like when they did Leap of Faith, I was like, haha, you said the thing. I know that one. Like, where's the hay bale though?
There was a hay bale. There's a henchman gets thrown off a roof and
Yeah,
lands
into a hay bale.
in
Yeah,
a hay
I
cart.
pointed
But
out.
not when he does his
I
leap of
literally
faith.
did the Leo
No,
thing
yeah.
on the screen during that moment when we were watching.
I did as well.
You know what was one of the most baffling things? You know, they have the imagery of like the eagle flying through all these moments
every
and,
time
like,
he jumps in.
and yeah, it's like but like they never tie it in any further than that. Like they never make any deeper connection. It was purely a reference for reference.
They're obviously making the connection here that humans and birds, and theoretically then through genetic history, dinosaurs are all related. And he was just, making a jump to one of his other ancestors to get there first.
Or alternatively, all birds since the beginning of time have been
Surveillance drones.
and
I've just
surveillance
been-
drones. Yeah. Since the beginning of time. Always.
That does fit into the lore of Assassin's Creed. That is how you
And that's
do
why
your
the
tower
Egyptians were
shit
based,
and-
because they had cats to get rid of those drones.
Correct.
All right, so that gives us an average of 5.875 or just a 5.9 as our
Fair enough.
Almost nice.
as
Like
our
fair
as our
ratings.
average score. I think honestly, if anything, those ratings were a bit generous.
Yeah, everyone. I was the outlier here, given the low score.
I mean, you were only half a point lower, which is like that falls within standard deviation.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
Like, because like honestly, I would also say is that I watched this when it came out, or like I don't think I went and saw it in theaters. I probably saw it when it was first. Like,
Imagine
streamable.
spending $10 on a movie ticket and $15 on snacks and drinks to go watch this fucking movie.
$10 on a movie ticket, bro. $10.
That is what it costs for me, friend.
Dude.
New York City.
Say New York City,
like $25,
and it was definitely
in-
still
in
that
Connecticut.
price at that time.
Up here, if you go to Montpelier, $10 for an adult ticket.
It's crazy.
If you still look like your student ID, you can get in for $5.
So nonsense.
But like, so I completely memory hold this movie from that first viewing. Like, completely forgot every detail about it. But like, I was more entertained than I expected going back to it. There were enough moments again.
Like I was watching a train crashing in slow motion.
Like but like, again, I've thought where it truly succeeded the most were the action set pieces. Were engaging enough, entertaining, but then as soon as you like tried to piece together how those action sequences revolved around any sense of plot, like, it just completely fell apart. Like the leaps that you had to make in the memory.
Would you say it was
section,
a leap of faith?
Yeah, it really requires it. It's just like, honestly, I was like, did I just black out and miss like 3 sequences? How have we gotten from point A to point B to point C?
Did I get up and go to the bathroom without realizing it?
Yeah,
no, it's you entered the animus for a moment, and you slipped away into your ancestral plane, and you just
that would get me canceled. End up where Anya Taylor-Joy's family was in 1930.
Oh my gosh, Matt's brain just still broken.
becoming a bit of channel lore now. All right, so that is those are our ratings for this film. Again, any other final thoughts that we've got?
No, I think that's spot
I've never
on.
seen a movie make me hate Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, it's just very, very bland, very nothing in his bit.
There might be one worse movie that I have seen him in, and it is the movie he met his wife on, The Lighthouse. That movie, fucking
He's
garbage.
in The Lighthouse?
It is awful. Yes, he is. It is him.
That's
and
the black and
Alicia
white one,
Vikander.
right?
Yeah. No, not The Lighthouse. What is it fucking called? It's the other. It's a
Okay.
romance that
'Cause
they
The
live
Lighthouse
on a
is the
lighthouse. The
one-
lighthouse
that's
is
the one
Willem
light-
Dafoe
yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
And
They-
Robert
they-
now I gotta-
And The
now I gotta
Lighthouse is
find-
like a black
now
and
I
white
gotta
art
find the
film
name.
that people loved.
Now,
Yeah,
now I
and
gotta
they
find the name.
colorized
Hold on.
to be
Make Robert
Mario.
Pattinson Mario,
Yeah.
yeah. Gritty live action Mario.
Yeah. It is that. It is that. Hold on.
I was
hold on.
reading someone on Reddit being emotional about the Mario movie and saying that Charles Martinet at the end,
Say a baby.
being the proud father and saying like, "My boys, I'm like so proud of you." At the end, he was like, it was like he was saying it to Mario.
Okay. The name of the movie was The Light Between Oceans. That
That
movie
is-
is worse.
That
than
is a name.
Never even heard of that.
terrible rom-com about
Oh, what
this
about
couple.
what about the
not
more recent
rom-com,
movie? I've never seen it.
romantic
But
drama.
what about the recent movie where he's like this weird snowman serial killer? Isn't that one supposed to be really bad as well with him?
Yes, the
Weird
snowman.
Snowman serial
Yeah, that's
killer.
supposed to be bad too.
So it's
Yeah,
like
he's
not
like
a,
in-
he,
The,
he's not
the gritty,
immune.
realistic Jack Frost remake. I was very sure.
He's not. He's not. He's not immune to the stinker as well. you know?
No.
Maybe this.
It was
a
that was
turning
from the
point.
director of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
God damn.
It all comes back. It all comes back around.
Those.
All right, folks. That I think will do it for us today. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got that we can tease going forward? I think next
Here
episode
in 2 weeks.
is we're doing Matt will be leading us through the saga of Near Replicant and Near Automata.
Isn't it just
I
a
was
week
gonna,
now?
I was going to say more. It's going
No.
to be a deep dive into the Mind Palace of Yoko Taro.
Yoko Taro, yeah. No, I'm pretty
It's
sure
going to be a 12-part series,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we.
and you need to
we're
finish all
off a
12
week.
parts to get the true ending.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then let's see. Then more news stuff will be wrapping at the end of the month. But then so next adaptation episode, I have already started my work into our next adaptation. I have started the Halo TV series.
Oh my god. No, we already fuck.
I forgot that we did that.
Oh,
And I forgot that we didn't have a mulligan where you're allowed to just like not show up.
no.
We just
First-
watch Red vs.
I
Blue
have
Oh,
to
instead.
watch
no.
Master Chief have sex with a blue alien.
First,
Oh,
no, it's
no.
another human. It's another human.
Oh, sorry.
But
Would
All
be
right,
better
well,
if it
let's save that for the
first
episode. Let's not
episode
spoil
isn't
too much
terrible.
content.
Yeah, first episode isn't terrible. They do a few goofy first person perspective things like they did in the Doom movie. So that's funny.
That's not a good start, friend. They did things
But
like the
You'll
Doom
have to come
movie.
back to check it out.
Yeah. You all will have access. I'll give you my Paramount Plus login to enjoy that masterpiece as it unfolds over 9 hour-long episodes.
Anyone got a source for lithium?
All right.
On that
But
note,
in the meantime, you can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Campaign Comrades, where we are often playing a bunch of the games that we review here on the channel. Also, for my portion of the streaming, I am usually on our YouTube channel. Should get back into doing some more actual YouTube videos as well, but no timeline on that at the moment. But yeah, be sure to stay tuned. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Only positive though. No, this is an echo chamber.
Every time
no-
you give
no
us a
critique.
negative comment or review, we do another horrible movie adaptation.
We double down. But yeah, come join the chat live. And we'd love to love for you to join the discussion. But till then, we will see you next time. Bye bye.